name's Keith Welshmer. It's my 1979 Chevy C10. How I got into custom trucks and cars ever since I was a little kid. My dad would take me to car shows. He always had muscle cars and motorcycles and boats and all kinds of cool stuff. So that's what we would do. We were always working on stuff and going to car shows and basically been involved in all this stuff my whole entire life. So still messing with it. Got into bag trucks and C10s and got into the C10 scene about 10 years ago and started building trucks, and here we are. So this 1979 C10 right here I got from a friend of mine, Jim Germany. He found it and traded a 69 Chevy C10 for it. And it was a really clean, low mileage North Carolina truck. It had 111,000 miles on it, ran and drove perfect, had good patina on it, had a little bit of rust in the hood and the rockers. And we were always trading stuff back and forth. At the time I had a bagged 68 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, and we wound up trading some stuff back and forth, and I got the truck and he wound up with the Cadillac. And originally my intent was to just bag the truck and drive it with the original engine and the patina and everything, but it had some rust that needed to be addressed. And at the time I didn't know the guys to match the patina and didn't want to take a chance with that. And it just kind of snowballed out of control with the truck getting painted, and I left it all original except for paint and new trim, and drove it like that for a while. But I always had the same vision for the truck. I wanted to, I always liked the Delmo style trucks, the West Coast style, low and all late model stuff, but looking original, looking factory, like I think Chevrolet should have done it. You know, I really dig the way these trucks look, and all the trim and all the accents they had from the factory, but low and fast, and so that's kind of the vision that I had for this truck from the get-go. And I changed my mind at least 2 or 3 times a week on how I wanted to do it. I had a bunch of parts, a bunch of other projects, so it went from having a blown engine to a turbocharged engine to leaving it with the stock engine to putting big wheels on it, 24x15s, cutting it up, making it full custom, and eventually went full circle right back around to where it's at now, to the original vision that I had for the truck, which was being a Delmo style truck. And I had a lot of people help me out with that, with parts and with the build, and it turned out pretty cool. So that's how I came across this truck and how I got it to where it's at right now. So when I originally got this truck and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it, I knew I wanted to bag it. I always wanted to have a bagged C10, never had one, so this was going to be the first one. I had another 81 C10 at the time. It was more of a hot rod, and I was up in the air on which one I wanted to do, but I always thought that these trucks with the round headlights look better bagged than the later model trucks. I like them kind of as a hot rod, so I was leaning toward this one. And I started collecting parts, and I knew I wanted to do this certain style, so I started buying stuff, and I was fortunate to be able to get Porter-built components for the chassis, front and rear drop members. I was able to come up on these intro wheels from Delmo, from a friend of mine in Arizona, and so that kind of set the tone and set the pace. The parts that I was able to get for the truck was what made it where, hey, it's going this way. And I wound up getting the truck painted, getting all new trim put on it, kind of did the build backwards. I had the chassis I was working on, and just the opportunity presented itself to get the truck painted and get all the rust fixed while I was still, you know, driving it on the factory chassis. And when we got ready to build it, it was kind of, do I leave it? It was a clean stock original truck. Do I leave it? Just leave it lowered, static drop, painted, low mile truck. Nobody wanted me to cut it up. Or do I go all the way and tear it all apart, put it on the chassis and do it like it needs to be done? So I had these 2 trucks to choose from. We chose to go ahead and do this one, the painted one, the harder way to do it. So my buddy Alan at Harvey's Tack Shack took the job on. We brought it over here, put the chassis together, blew the whole truck apart, and put it on this chassis. It's got Porter-built front and rear drop members, AccuAir, E-level, CVT. It's got an all aluminum LS 5.3, 4L60. It's all Delmo style, old school small block look with the valve covers and the throttle body upright to look like a carburetor with the factory air cleaner, heart fab tubs, and the interior is stock retro sounds. Everything was done Dakota Digitals. Everything was done to make it look original as possible, but laid out, and it rides like a Cadillac. It's got plenty of power. It's real smooth. It's got a good sound to it, the way we did the exhaust, and it's just a cool truck. And so since we got this truck done, we started the build process after the truck was painted. We had a goal of making C10s in the park in 2021, and we had some parts issues and didn't make that deadline, but we were within a week. After that, we were driving it. I think it took us around 12 weeks start to finish to get this done. Had a lot of help. My friend Andrew Tham at Tham's Paint and Performance helped me out throughout, from the time we got the truck painted, putting all the trim on it, and then came over here and painted everything under the hood, painted the engine, detailed all that stuff. And so after we got it done, the next deal that happened was, and my fondest memory with this truck to date is that we were able to take it to Autorama Houston. And that was a cool thing for me, because I never thought that I would have anything cool enough to go to Autorama. That was always like the big show. And so to get to go to that show with a few of my friends and to park in there and just to be there and hang out was awesome. And that'll probably be hard to top with most of the stuff that I do, because I usually do stuff like this, more hot rod, patina, driver stuff, not show cars. And this one just turned out to be pretty nice, kind of unexpectedly, and I dig it. So special thanks on this build. A few people that helped me out a whole lot from start to finish. Al Harvey and his wife Juanita at Harvey's Hack Shack. They were instrumental in this build. Al and I worked 7 days a week, after hours. Let me come and work with him and try to get it done, and we did get it done, knocked it out of the park. I want to thank them. Rusty and Laura Matlock painted the truck in their 2-car garage. Did a fantastic job for what they had to work with and what I was able to work with on them. Andrew and Warren Tham for all the detail work, all the trim installation, painting the inside of the bed, painting under the hood, painting the engine, building the chassis, initially installing all the Porter-built stuff. Andrew and I had to figure all that out with no instructions at first. I want to thank Nate Porter for always being there and available to answer the phone and answer questions and send instructions. And Brian Val from Trey 5 Customs and Frontier Shop Supplies, he sold me all the parts that are under this truck, all the AccuAir, all the Porter-built stuff, the wheels, and he has been available for any question, any help, nights, weekends, and has become a long-distance friend of ours. And also want to thank Brian Peoples at All Out Auto Spa. They did a killer job getting this truck buffed and polished and ceramic coated and ready for Autorama, and the reason it looks the way it does today, those guys knocked it out of the park. And even available to answer questions and come to the house and get it show ready, go to the show and wipe on it. I mean, those guys kill it every time. So that's the people that were heavily involved in this build, and it wouldn't have been able to get where it's at without those guys. My name's Keith, and I'm rolling good.
For certain you go onward, for certain you will fight, for certain you will meet your death beneath the stars this night. Take your blade and armor, I'll cloak my face and hide. You'll fight your nation's battle and I'll battle at your side. soldier travels far and wide where wives are free to go. What would I do to keep you? I'll cloak my face and hide. I'll veil myself in black and steel and battle at your side. No mercy have I for man. No God can save my soul. It's love and life I fight for with blade.